in eastern Ukraine. The ministry has said that Russia has taken control of Privila in the Dnipropetrovsk region, as well as Pishane and Taiki in the Kharkiv region. This comes as the Ukrainian president travels to the United States to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump. Ukraine is eyeing advanced air defense systems and long-range missiles. In recent weeks, Russia has intensified its attacks on Ukraine's power and energy grids. Meanwhile, a Russian court has handed down long prison sentences to 15 captured Ukrainian fighters. These men were members of Ukraine's Aidar battalion captured in 2022. The trial took place behind closed doors in a military court in the southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don region. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Martin Sai-Rice. He's a foreign affairs expert, joins us live from Quito. Thank you, Martin, for joining us again. Good to see you. Martin, with President Zelensky set to discuss a potential delivery of some missiles with President Trump, how do you think, how would these additions help? And what do you think now we know that what President Zelensky wants to discuss with President Trump, but can you give us any light or shed light to what do you think about what President Trump wants to discuss with President Zelensky?
Starting a strategy of deterrence, since the Russian intervention has been successful in annexing two other villages, Ukrainian villages. This threat poses a new type of threat by taking advantage of the situation of the ceasefire between the Palestinians and Israel. Right now, we see these new developments that are pretty much concerning. I think right now the relationship between Trump and Zelensky is getting stronger, and I think Trump would like to finish the war as he did in the Middle East. I think this war will be the next one to be put into an end. And I think right now Ukraine and Russia, they are trying to weigh forces. Russia has sent a clear message that their army is pretty strong in order to annex these new two cities, but Zelensky is also trying to show Russia that there's a shift in the relationship between Trump, Russia, and Ukraine, and that right now Trump will be focused in supporting Ukraine.
How do you analyze Russia and U.S. relations at this moment?
I think the relationship between Trump and Putin is not officially deteriorating. However, the approach between Trump and Zelensky gives a very clear message that Putin cannot trust his former, the policy from the U.S. before this approach towards Zelensky, that Trump was very cooperative with Russia. Trump didn't criticize Putin. He wanted to have a closer relation, to have a discussion and to get closer to Putin. However, right now we're seeing a shift in these relationships, and I think Putin is aware of it.
And now looking at Europe's decision, they haven't decided yet, but the looming question about unfreezing or freezing the frozen Russian assets to be used for Ukraine's ongoing defense efforts. How would these funds impact military operations on ground, and what could happen if these were to be unfrozen?
I think this strategy from the UN will affect the general economy more than the army. The Russian army is already pretty strong. They have atomic bombs. They have a huge man force. They have a very well developed air force and air force. So I think this policy from the European Union is symbolic, is economic, and is related to the bilateral relations between the European Union and Russia, and it's going to affect more the Russian economy than directly the military. However, it's a good sign and it's a good message that Europe is not going to give up on Ukraine.
That I would like to thank Martin for joining us and sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now we stay in the region. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has said that he will speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss a planned US-Russia summit in Budapest. Meanwhile, the US President Donald Trump has announced that he expects to meet Putin in Budapest within 2 weeks in a new push for a peace deal over Ukraine. Orbán is an close ally of both Trump and Putin, which remains one of the strongest critics of Western support for Ukraine within the European Union. Orbán has reacted to the situation. Let's listen into what he has said.
És Putyin elnök úrral pedig ma reggel, ma délelőtt során fogok majd beszélni. És ránéztek a térképre, és megnézték a vezetőket, akkor az hamar kiviláglik, hogy Budapest lényegében az egyetlen hely ma Európában, ahol egy ilyen találkozót meg lehet tartani.